Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Fixing Up the Commonwealth. Hope you are all well today and I hope you're enjoying the build. So today's build is going to be influenced by Fallout 76, and also a big shout out to Tero and our subscribers who also gave me the idea. So let's have a quick look at where the influence comes from, and then we'll get into the build. So if you know 76 at all, and you know Helvetia, whatever it's called, there is a plane crash just above on the mountain, and there's this little settlement here. So I've tried to get the best photo I could of this, because it's usually night time when I get here. So you can see it's a kind of power pylon, and there's a few kind of little hanging residential areas or little pods or something. So that's partly the influence for today's build. Plus Tero kind of gave me a comment, which hopefully I'll put up a bit now, which kind of says, so excited for the next video at this settlement. This is a great change up for the normal building on the ground. Suspended shantytown maybe. Well, Tero Argyle, your wish is granted. Watch on. Hope you're going to enjoy this one. So this is going to take a couple of episodes to complete, guys. So this is part one, and essentially what we're going to do is we're going to fill in a huge amount of area around on a couple of levels. Now initially what I do is I use the idea from Fallout 76, and then it just seems to take a life of its own. And yeah, I think you're going to be super impressed by how this all turns out. I'm just kind of winging it like you wouldn't believe, winging it for Australia, improvising my little tushy off, and yeah, it's amazing. This build has really flowed. It doesn't always happen, but this one in particular has just, everything has seemed to just flow perfectly along and start to make sense. And so you're going to see a lot of kind of, oh, not that, oh no, we're going to have to put the video in, aren't we? Oh, that's probably a record I've just broken. I think that's the quickest the quickest that I've fallen off in building history. I'm even on the wrong level. Look at this. I'm so confused. I must have got a bump to the head. So anyway, we're going to put another one in here for now, or not, because it's not going to snap. Oh dear. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to put that distraction video on every time I fall off, or we're never going to get through the build, to be honest. So here we go. We're looking for some ideas here to put into this corner. We've just built that pod above, and basically what I actually want to do here is I want to just see what the height's like for building underneath the pod. So it's up above our head at the moment. If you want to call it a pod, whatever, you see there it is there, whatever you want to call it. And then we will just start to fill this area out and out and out and out and out. So initially I start with the same idea, and then I kind of change it up a little bit more as we go through. There we go. Now go like that. What else can we put in here? I sort of don't want it to have the same idea happening all the time, but this is, I think this happens to be, this ends up a happy little accident here. Like that. Because it ends up being a little doorway like there. Okay, that looks alright. That's something a bit different. And we really work on pushing the envelope a little bit. Geez, the cliches are coming fast, thin and fast today. Is that right? I have no idea what I'm saying today. It's it's too early in the morning, and oh, that's going to snap. Okay, so I'll put that in there, but I'm going to leave that gap so you can see the view as well, and then appreciate the view in that little dwelling there. Okay, so what else can we put in here? That goes in there like that. That can go in there like that, and that's a little doorway. Never thought of doing that before, but it was, like I said, that's just a happy little accident that sometimes happens in my builds, and I'm pretty pleased with it, actually. Pretty pleased. So there'll be no tour today, just to be clear. Oh, it fits nicely in there. We won't be doing a tour today, but we will be, like I said, this is going to have to take a couple of building videos to complete. So we will be progressively building in this whole area, and I think you're going to like what we end up coming up with. And then we will do a tour after the part 2 of the vid. So here I'm just feeling out what's possible to put in here. That's okay. That's all right. Does that fit? Yeah, it does, like that. Now I had a little look at that video the other day when I done my inspiration video for County Crossing, and of course we went back to Mostown. If you haven't checked that video out, you should. So I'll leave a link about now so you can check that video out. I went back and had a look around that Mostown inspiration video, and I got this little idea. Now what I'm doing here is I was going to do something else with it, and I end up going in a slightly different direction, because this was going to be a little transition area through to another building, but I realized I could actually fit something in here. I'm like, that's a little bit interesting, and it's filling in gaps. So it really, ringing in my ears was the shantytown vibe, the hanging shantytown. So that's kind of what we're going to go for today. Like, does that fit in there? And then I'm thinking, no, that's too much. We're actually getting too much of those pods, and I don't want to overdo the pods. So what else can we hang off of there? Maybe that would fit in there, no doubt. Yep, that works. It's an interesting little shack. Yep, I like it. Okay, cool. I'm running back and forward in excitement. And then that, at least you have a view into the Commonwealth and across the river and all that kind of good stuff. So we'll put that in there and that in there for my safety. Safety first, people. And I like how you can see across through the settlement, but you can also see into the river. There we go, put that one in there, so I don't fall off again, which is quite embarrassing. Okay, all good. So we're making fairly good progress at this point. Now, I know Mikey and I were talking about this settlement a wee while ago, and he was talking about how much wood is there for the for a lot of the walkways. But once I get this all filled in, and you'll see as we go through, the wooden walkways kind of melt away, and you don't actually notice them as much. Mikey's idea was kind of that we needed to put a bit more metal in here. Now, I get what he's saying, because it's kind of a thought that's been in my head as well, that there's just probably too much wood in the walkways here. But what I intend to do, maybe I might not do it at this point, but maybe before I finish out, is maybe start to junkify, or make it junkalicious, as Helena would say, and add stuff to the wooden walkways to make them look a little bit different. So I put this little bubble structure Duvalaki thing in here, and it actually turns out fantastic, because it gives me an option to do something a little bit more interesting. So initially what I do, come on, snap, is this. But then I think, so these won't fit, which it's good that they don't fit, because it makes me go in a different direction and use a mod I haven't used for quite a bit of time. So I think, oh yeah, maybe if I take that out, that'll fit. It should fit, but I think it's colliding with that building up above. Now, here we go, Mikey. This is how I'm going to innovate across here. I'm going to show it here. No, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do, I have no idea. No, I don't want to do that. Do I want to do that? Oh, there's a tree in the way. We're going to get rid of that tree. Don't need it. Okay, no, that's not going to fit. So here I'm trying all kinds of ideas to see what fit. Nothing really works, so I end up going in a different direction, but this is all part and parcel of building. Yeah, I don't want it to fit there. Jeez whiz. Yep, nothing's fitting. So because nothing's fitting, it sends me in a completely different direction. That's what I was looking for. I want that. There you go. Cool. And then I try the door. I don't think the door snaps. It doesn't. So again, it forces me to put something different in here, because I want to put that in there. But it doesn't fit. Oh, careful. You're going to fall off again. So I'm looking at that, and I could replace it with a shack bridge, but I decided to go, you know what? We do something a bit different. Why don't we do something that's a little bit more interesting? So I'm going to put these across here, as though there's been a kind of break in the walkway. And I think this is much more interesting than having shack bridges all over the place. There you go. There you go. Why does that one snap and the other one? No idea why the other one. Oh, there we go. You got to turn it around. That's what you got to do. There you go. So you see, that looks a little bit too flimsy for me. So I'm going to actually give it a bit of a strengthening up by adding this like that. There we go. That's fantastic. And we'll change a different colour like that. And I think this is probably, I'm going to do a bit more of this, because I think it certainly looks a little bit more interesting. And as I said in the last video, yeah, precarious, big word. I do read things online and get big word ideas every so often. Okay, so far so good. We're making good progress. You can see I tend to run back and forward a bit, and just because what happens is when I'm building, I actually get ideas. I get ideas of what I want to do with certain areas. So from another area. So then while I'm remembering it, I'll go up and fix that area up, and then I'll come back to the original. It might be a bit annoying, but it's just how I've always kind of built in Fallout, and just how my creative kind of brain works. It's kind of scary, really. Yeah, I'm having a look through here. I end up not worrying about this at all. I'm looking for floors, and unfortunately one of the mods that I run puts all this stuff in front, so that I can't. Oh, that does actually fit in there. Come on. For that brief second, there it is. So I want to kind of make this a little bit flatter here. Okay, all good. So we will make this area, that's looking good now, I like that. We'll make this area into some residential areas. I'm thinking about how I'm going to anchor that, or whether I have to actually anchor that or not. So I decide to put this up on here. Much the way as we've done before, so it's really rinse and repeat to what we've done in the past. But you know, keep the continuity, ooh, another big word. Keep the continuity of the settlement. I have to do this, so while I'm here, while I'm thinking about it, I'm stuck on something. Just push it up a bit. Come on. Yeah, there it is. But there, no, it was probably right the first time, but never mind. But there, I'll put it up and I'll adjust it later. That's how I'll do it. Oh, here we go. So that looks as though it's attached there. Okay, so you can see I'm thinking about what I want to do next. Always kind of step back and have a look and see what's there. You know, I'm looking at that area thinking I could probably fill all that area in there and use it as a buildable space. Okay, what are we going to do here? So we still have this area here to kind of fix up. So we've tried a couple of ideas. I don't know what I'm doing here. I really don't. Oh, okay. That's what I'm doing. Attaching wires, apparently, to make it look secure. Yeah, that's the wrong one. Push it up. There we go. One down there. If it's going to sit on, is it going to sit on the roof? Yes, it is. It did. You saw it for that brief second. There we go. Now we're going to be able to do this blind. We'll see in a sec, I guess. There we go, like that. There we go. Attached it blind. And then we want one over here like this. Drop it in. There it is. And then we're going to have to do that one blind too. There you go. Sorted. Not sure that that's exactly how I'd like it to look, but anyway, it's done now. Okay, so we need to do something in this area, and you see we've tried a couple of ideas here. They haven't worked. So what I think about doing is I'm thinking about what I can use here. So I'll go to Vanilla Extensions, Metal tab, and I find these floors, these fantastic metal floors that I haven't used for such a long time. But look at these. Oh, nice and rusty. I like it. Rusty or rustic, I'm not sure. There we go. Now you might have to spin these around a bit to get them to work. There you go. Just got to find that spot, and we'll build a couple of buildings off there like that. And this really starts to generate some more ideas for this particular level. But anyway, that's I like this. You do have these kind of other walls here that you can use. It does present a couple of issues, so I'm going to stick that there, which is all right. But then we've got to fill that gap now, and it's an awkward shape. So there you go, 3 residents in a little hallway type thing. So you can just use this or that. So I'll try a number of things and see what works, what doesn't. Yeah, that's not going to go there. Okay, so that might work. That snaps in there like that. Now, a couple of these snap, a couple of these don't. Why? Who knows? So I'm just going around to see if I can get this to snap to anything before I have to muscle it in. Oh, there, it snaps there. That's fine. Snaps there. It only snaps in 2 places. Go figure. So I'm going to have to put a heap of these out and just kind of, yeah, muscle them into place, like I said. There we go. Put a couple out, and we'll just kind of finagle them into the spot. It's not going to matter too much at pointing at that way, because it's going to you're not going to see it. This way, however, is going to be a problem, because it's going to leave a big thing sitting out in the hallway. So that's something I have to solve. The same there. See, that's snapped in, but that's okay, because it's all kind of getting integrated into the walls. I've no idea where that just went. Oh, there it is. I don't mind that sticking out there, because I'm going to build walls here, so you're not actually going to see it. Like that. Needs a bit of fine tuning, but we're pretty close. So I'm going to finish this kind of area off today, and that's pretty much all I'm going to do in this episode. So we just got a few more minutes of this, and then we are done for the day, because it's nearly night time and time for a drink and a sleep. And you can see they're intersecting there, but that one's not going to work. So I'm going to have to take that out and find another solution for that. Luckily, it's not too hard to solve in actual fact. So we should be able to use that other piece that comes So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just looking for, I'm thinking about this, thinking what can I use, and I go back to the spot. So I'm looking for solutions to fill that gap there. Basically that's what I'm doing. See, the height's going to fight me a little bit here, so I thought about putting those in on the end like that. They'll work there though, which is good. I like that. A little bit different. I like the fact that those vines are hanging down. Kind of gives it a little bit of character. So again, just experiment with whatever you've got for roofs and whatnot here, and you'll finally find something. So let's say I'm thinking maybe I can put that in there to fill that gap up. I think initially this is what I'll go with, and I'll find a better solution a little bit later. It wants to snap to everything except the place I want it to go. So what I do is I end up angling it like this. See if it'll fit. So what I generally do is I'll fit it in and then use place anywhere. You know, and just test if it'll go in there. And that looks a little bit different. It's not ideal, but it's different, which I like. Okay, let's get some of the roofs in. And we should be done for the day. There we go, that fits in nicely there. Nicely there, there we go. Cool. Cool bananas. So it's not going to be long till I'm up in the sky bar having a wee drinky poo. Yeah, that's not going to work there. We've already tried all this. Doesn't work. And the reason I'm trying to get these, thank you Mr. Motorbike, the reason I'm trying to get these in and try and see if they'll add in there is just so that it varies up the little bit of look of this, and just change it up a little bit to see, you know, do something a bit different. Don't be scared to experiment in your builds at all. I encourage it. I think you should try all different types of textures and walls, and you know, types of walls. Try everything. Don't get your brain into this thinking that you just have to use wood with wood and metal with metal. Vary it up. So as I say, I'm trying to find a solution for that. The problem with the wall I just tried to use there is the fact that it is actually the size of the barn and it's a bit too tall. So I'm going to USO because I know there's some walls that I haven't used for a while, but I used a lot previously and I love these. So so they will actually snap in there. There we go. Nice. And again, just it's something different look. There we go. Still metal, but it's different. Put a blue one there. Come on. Okay. Gonna have to wrestle that where into place. There we go. Put a roof on it and we're done for the day. There we go. That, see, there's 3 different metals in one room. I like that. I like that kind of variance of look. Find a see, I'm always thinking about what I can do here. Again, I'm trying to find a solution for that spot there. This doesn't work. I wrestle with it for forever. And then give up. There we go, give up. Just put a roof on it. Just put on a roof on it. We'll solve it later. Yeah, so you have these ones in another mod that actually don't snap. So I'm going to try that for a while. None of this works, by the way. Try putting wood slats there. That doesn't work either. They're all too long. That's what the problem is. So they're all got. We're back to the same problem where they're going to kind of jut at into the hallway there, which we don't want to do. So that's just too wide. So that's pretty much it for today. Come back and watch us and me struggle a little bit more in part 2 of this build, and we will get everything kind of buttoned up next episode, and we will give you a little bit of a tour. We're just going to continue to... Okay, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's not going to work. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and as I wrestle with this piece of wood, we will catch you next time on Fixing Up the Commonwealth. See ya!